Afternoon, everybody. Man, I tell you, you know, today it is just it's just another day on planet Earth, right? Another day where we are all still dealing with the newness, the freshness, and now the exhaustedness of everything that's happened to our world community. I over and over again, I'm seeing so many stories and hearing so many stories, and I'm talking to clients, and I've moved a lot of my coaching stuff to online, and I've been talking to a lot of people on the phone and over Facebook Messenger and everything is just like, I feel this overwhelming amount of shame coming from people. Shame and the whole structure of just disbelief, right? Nobody can even, it's like, I know even for myself this morning, I woke up, and I went to bed. I was playing VR with my son last night, and we were up until like midnight playing VR, which is really, really fun. Great way of just kind of relaxing and letting everything go. And I got up this morning after being up so late, VRing with him and everything. And I woke up and I was like, did I dream all that? Did I dream it all? I can't. And I really was like, for a moment, I'm like, let me check on the world for a second, right? And there was just this, of course, we had a beautiful rainstorm last night. So I always kind of feel like, where am I at when I wake up after a rainstorm? But this morning, it was just, there was so much talk yesterday, so much talk around, the coronavirus, around mandated shutdowns, around the changes that our economy is going through, about the fear that so many people are facing, and all of this, and just the cringing, and, I wish that people would take it more serious, or people are taking this too serious. Everything underneath the sun, from conspiracy mindset to religious stuff coming through, governments are doing, and what our societies are doing. And here's where it gets real. Here's where it really gets real. Put everything else to the side. What government and world and science, and no matter where you are at on the belief as to where coronavirus came from, what caused it, is it, I heard somebody saying, this is a time for us that we're going to be, world from the three-dimensional, and those people who increase their vibration, who increase their consciousness, are going to be able to come up out of this into a different world, while everybody else is residing in this bogged down, fear-based world. All right, fine, great. I'm not going to speak what I feel on any of that. It doesn't not matter. None of that matters. What does matter, whether we are talking about increasing vibration, increasing consciousness, looking at, what the healthiest thing to do is for ourselves, for our family, for our neighbors, for our community, for our world tribe of us human beings, no matter what color our skin is, our eye, our hair, what our religious beliefs or practices are. None of that matters. Right now is a beautiful time for us to come together as a world community, and I always look at things, I was like, that we really are the custodians of this world. We have to be more compassionate to self. We have to the earth. We need to really look at what's the lesson here for us to gain from it. And what I see, sadly enough, is a hell of a lot of shaming going on. Like, the violence factor is amazing. A friend of mine, dear sweet friend of mine, she posted something on the violence to the Asian population right now, and how so many American Asians are being physically abused and shunned, different stuff, that this came from China. So now if you look Asian, we're going to hate on you. This is not an elevated way of thinking, of being, of feeling. No one person is responsible, especially no one, Asian or other. And she was making the comment that, when the Spanish flu went through, And we all of a sudden we started to go anti-Spain, 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 because it was called the Spanish flu. And when it was actually all came back and looked at, it actually came out of Kansas. The Spanish flu came from Kansas, and all of this stuff. And why was it called the Spanish flu? Well, it was called the Spanish flu because Spain was the flu for it. Everybody else is went, we don't see it. So I was telling my daughter today, you smelt it, you dealt it type thing, because you smelt it, you dealt it, and now China's getting blamed for first. Okay, this old thing we're is what needs to really be focused on. We are not only race and ethnic groups, and rolling back the time, like we're really unevolving ourselves right now. I heard somebody say, I'm staying anybody that's old. And no way to keep that's really? So now we're not going to help the lady with the shopping cart out to her car? I mean, maybe you weren't doing that anyway, but you should, right? We should help our neighbors. We should help people, especially when we see that somebody's in need. Whether there is a disease rolling around or not, we still should be assisting our neighbors. And not just our friends, not just our family, but neighbors, meaning any other human being on this planet, right? Assisting them. I saw somebody post woman's name. If you catch this live stream, because I know that we're friends and we follow each other, then yay, you go girl. Like, that was just amazing. But she was writing about the shame that she was experiencing for being sick, and that she had developed a touch of something and she was feeling like crap. And because she was feeling just, fatigue and worn out and needing more rest, and her system was just, her immune system was down. Okay, yay, I found service. My God, everything just went out. That's okay. I just walked around. I guess I need a little bit of a walk. Hold on, it's been raining. I gotta clear a spot for my phone. Okay, so this friend of mine, Facebook friend, hold on, she is feeling shame because her immune system went down, and she was scared to tell anybody that she was sick. So she was scared to ask for help because she was sick, because she was afraid that she would be shunned even more if anybody caught whiff that she was feeling a little ill. And she even had people that did know that she was not feeling good tell her, whatever you do, don't act sick. Don't act sick. This is not the time to have a cold. This is not the time to have the flu. This is not the time to show that you have allergies or anything like that, because the Slizel makes everybody think that you've got the coronavirus, and oh my gosh, stay away from that person, right? Like, stay away from them. And it's so curious, because I just realized, I did a beautiful client appointment today. So probably one of my last in-office clients for a bit. Who knows? We'll see how the week pans out. But there was some smoke in the air, and I cleared my throat, and I kind of was like, wow, I think I might cough. I actually thought I might cough, and then I had fear go through me of like, oh my goodness, if I cough, even though it's the smoke in the air that's making me cough, I don't feel sick at all. Healthy immune system, nothing going on. Nobody in my world's sick, nothing. Haven't even met any sick people lately. Nothing, right? And I went to clear my throat, and I had this little tinge of, is that okay? is that okay? That's the first time in a long time that I actually even gave a shit as to what somebody else was thinking, because I went, whoa, that's a foreign place for me to be. And that's so weird that I felt this little hesitation in just to clear my throat because of some smoke in the air, which is just silly, right? It's silly. But this is where we've gotten to in such a short period of time. And my message today is, check yourself, because this is not something that is just, stuck to your neighbors' houses or to other countries. This is going to impact every single household in the world. Every single human person on this planet is getting impacted by what is happening right now. In 10, 15, 20 years from now, we're going to look back and we're going to be telling our youth, the babies of today and the, young children of today, when they are teenagers and young adults, we're going to be like, hey, we lived through this event in time, this event that literally shut our world down, that completely changed our economy system, that completely changed the way our countries are running. This has the potential to change so many different things in our world. The implications of the coronavirus and what is happening across the board is massive, and it's far more than any toilet paper epidemic that we have going on. Which, people, come on, did you know that the truckers are still trucking and that they are massively bringing in all of the supplies? They're actually backlogged to actually deliver the supplies to different places, because we are purchasing so much of certain products, paper products, in such mass amount that they can't get it to us quick enough, because they can't get trucks out to the stores and everything, because we're purchasing before it even gets to the shelves. And we're doing it on that because we're going absolutely stir crazy mad. We are going mad over something. And FYI, this is all considered to be a respiratory issue, not an intestinal issue. So get your ends right, okay? And guess what? If we all just bought things the way we normally buy things, there would not be anybody without. There would not be anybody without. So if you're one of those toilet paper hoarding fiends out there, how about you do something really nice and offer some up to your neighbors, or post it on Facebook? Hey, giving away 100 rolls of toilet paper. We'll ship to you today for free, because I was the dude that purchased 17,000 trucks worth last week when I heard that Japan had a shortage. And guess what? They don't even use that much toilet paper in Japan. They have bidets. Yes. So, no, seriously, the shame factor that we have going on. We already have so much shame over everything that known to man. We shame people for having too much of something. We shame people for not having enough of something. We shame people for not being pretty enough or being too pretty, for having too nice of a body or not having a nice enough body, for eating certain kinds of foods or for not eating certain kinds of foods, for living in this kind of house or that kind of house, for owning a car, not owning a car, what kind of car they have, where they choose to work, where they choose to live, what religion they are, what color their skin are, as if they had a choice in the matter, and if it even really matters, which it does not. And, we shame people for everything. How many people they've had sex with, how many people they haven't had sex with, what kind of sex they're having or they're not having, how often they have it or they don't have it, what their health is or if it is not. And here we are shaming people over the coronavirus now, and we are shaming at such a high end level that now we have where people are scared to death to even admit that they need assistance or that they need help. And how is this? Let me ask you this. Here we have this pandemic that's running around has taken over the world. We have limited amount of testing. Yes, they've gotten the tests up and going where now we can actually we can do it in massive quantities and all of that, which is great. Awesome news. There's more test kits rolling out. They're going to the hottest spots where, populations are high with they think that the coronavirus is definitely high. So there's more and more testing being rolled out. But how is shaming somebody for being ill or for going like that? People are probably like, oh, is she sick? Is she sick? No. All right. I'm not sick. I already said that. Not sick. I have no sniffly nose. I like that. Okay. But we start to go so much on guard because somebody coughs or snivels or wipes their eye or maybe touches their face too much or goes like that. Like we're like, whoa, do you have it? Do you have it? Now, yes, there's a lot of joking that's going around with that, but there's always a seriousness underneath every sarcastic thing, underneath every humorous comment. There still is a seriousness, a truth to it, a fear in this case to it. And what we're doing is we're making it where the people who do need to go get tested to, so that they don't impact their households, their families, their neighborhoods, their work environments, in any way, or even just transportation and stuff. So instead of them going and getting tested and getting real numbers, we now have a massive amount of people that are scared to go and get tested, scared to even show that they are sick or that they might be showing signs. So they are now hiding that completely. And you know what? That's not healthy. That's not good for any of us. So how are you shaming your friends, your family, your neighbors? How are you shaming people on an internet in some fashion or form around this particular subject that mankind is going through right now? Or are you shaming them about something else? Because anytime we put shame onto another individual or we feel shame on ourselves, whatever that subject is what we cause constriction around, is what we cause fear around. And as I've been preaching to you guys for like ever, but especially the last few days, fear does not come from God's source. Fear does not come from God. We cannot find a statement that supports that fear comes from God in any religious backing, okay? Any spiritual doctrine does not say that fear comes from God. Fear comes from something outside of God, something other than the darkness, the reverse. We have 1,000,001 names for that shit, okay? But that's where fear comes from. And when we instill fear into a situation, we actually feed it. We allow it to grow. So by shaming our neighbors, our friends, our family, and even ourselves, we cause that constriction. And when we cause that constriction, we're causing a constriction around love. We're causing a constriction around healing energy, around positive feelings and emotions. We create panic, anxiety, and stress, which cause the immune system to go into disarray. We make it where, as a world society, we are weaker because now we are dealing with panic. And panic not just over this disease, which most people, 80% plus of the population will come in contact with it and survive it with great ease. Okay? So, and probably the majority has already either had it or is going to know somebody or is naturally immune to it. Okay? So not only do we have this panic though around this particular epidemic right now, but we created a new epidemic around it based in shame, which is causing that constriction. So now we have a hiding factor going on. We have more separation going on. Guess what? Separation is not just separation from each other. This is not what we're doing. We're causing people to separate from their core, from their hearts, from their souls, from who they really are. And it's causing a separation in their connection to the divine, to God, to community, to love, to actually feeling. And I tell you what the biggest issue that I see that is going to come out of this is the mass amount of depression and isolation and abandonment that's going to come out of that, and I've been talking about that a lot too, that, even over the holidays, you put people over the holidays into a house together for a couple of weeks where they're going through Christmas and New Year's, and there's the financial stress, and then there's the stress of being with the family, and everybody's at each other's throats pretty damn quickly, right? Come Christmas, I hear a lot of not so joyous Christmas tales about how families get together and it's just fight. And now what do we have? This is getting pushed on us, right? This is happening because we're going to go into isolation no matter where we're at in this world. We're being put into isolation for a time period until this bug can get cleared out, until systems until everything is done the way it is anticipated to be done, right? And we clear that slate and we move forward. But what we're also doing is we're causing that isolation through shame, through fear to happen as well. And that's going to cause depression. And that's putting it mildly, okay? But I guarantee you, we're going to see suicide rates increase. We're going to see divorces increase. We're going to see, domestic violence increase. We're going to see a lot of stuff happen because of this. And it's not because of the isolation. It's because of this structure of fear, anxiety, stress, and shame that we have taking place within our own neighborhoods, within our own relationships. So I'm really going to encourage you to look at what you're doing. Where's your part? Because you know what? None of us are clean of this sin. None of us are 100% pure on not creating some sort of shame, some sort of disconnect, and not fully stepping in and loving our neighbor. So I want you to look and see. Where are you playing your role in that shame factor, and then how can you alleviate it? So today, ask yourself, how can I alleviate the shame? How can I be the light? How can I be the love? How can I show compassion to somebody? How can I truly inquire and create a safe space for people to communicate and to share, not just the asking of, hey, are you okay? Because instantaneously somebody who's not okay is going to say, yeah, I'm good. Because today, in today's world, over the last 2 weeks, especially for the United States, there's many, many people that are going to say, yeah, I'm okay, when they're not. And that is not just around health, okay? They're doing it around everything. Everyone wants to present a strong picture. But the truth in the matter is that there's many, many people that are in desperate need right now. And if we want to come together and heal this world and really truly come out of this with beauty, with love, with light, and great strong community, then what we have to do is we have to unite. We have to stop causing this separation of love, of connection, of intimacy, of friendship, and come back to what we really truly are, which is a divine piece of God, which is opposite of everything that we are showing right now. So how can you help your neighbor? How can you help this epidemic? How can you alleviate stress and fear? And what role are you currently playing in it? Okay, guys, on that note, Saturday, which is tomorrow. Oh my God, tomorrow's Saturday. Gosh, this week has gone by. Tomorrow, Saturday, I am teaching a global class for just this stuff right here. I'm going to be teaching a global class on how to keep your relationships strong during this epidemic, how you can create strong relationship with your money, with your health, with the people in your life, with your lovers, with your children, with, husbands, wives, brothers, sisters, neighbors. How do we keep that strength going and really truly keep the focus where it needs to be? Because we have a choice. We can come out of this, and I predict that it's probably going to be end of May or June. There, I did my prediction. There's my psychic tale of the day. I predict that, let's say June 1st, we are released free and clear and healthy as a world, society, okay? And come June 1st, what do we want summer to be like? What do we want June to be like? Do we want to walk out of our houses and back into community? And yeah, hopefully we see that the world heals a hell of a lot quicker than us human beings could ever dream of, because you know what? The world doesn't get wrapped up in, the earth does not have an ego. So it doesn't get wrapped up in its egoic thoughts and its fears. No, it just renews itself. It heals, which is what we're giving an opportunity to do right now. But we've got to be willing to do the tough shit, which is get real with ourselves, go internal, look at our relationships. Like for those who are coupled right now, and I deal with relationships. 90% of my world is relationships a lot of the time. Mostly, and probably 90% of that relationship stuff that I do is between couples, and a lot of that. And then there's the relationship to money. Okay, so but the relationship to couples, right now you have a choice as we move into this isolation phase, where you can either walk into summer going, F you, I'm done, I hate you, I never want to see you another day, completely making the next few months of your world completely miserable. Okay, and then coming into June and really tipping your boat over and making some drastic changes because you learned that you couldn't stomach your partner, or you can learn how to strengthen your relationship right now. Now, that doesn't always mean that your relationship needs to remain together. If you're already thinking about divorce, if you're already a lot of those couples out there that are like in separate bedrooms, not having sex, not really communicating, well, you better start communicating. I'm not saying that you need to have sex. I'm not saying that you need to move back into the same bedrooms, but I'm saying that you better get in into communication mode. And that means that you need to build a strong relationship to do that. Otherwise, it's going to be nasty, nasty, nasty. And then we have the relationship to our money, right? That's the next big thing. Not only is it the people in our lives that we're going to have some real struggle with right now, because as isolation comes down, we see less people. We're stuck in, four walls or yards and walls with just the same people over and over again. So that causes irritation. But then we have the relationship with our money. There are so many people right now that are completely out of work. And I was just talking to Addison earlier. I was like, what are all the chiropractors going to do? What are all the massage therapists going to do? What are all, what about, this whole service industry? What about a lot of the retail sales that are, they're limiting everything like that? Anyway, what about the acupuncture, natural doctors, all these people out there that, even like childcare places and everything that used to take, and now kids are home, all of that. I mean, my kids just got put on online training, online school, they're starting Monday, online school. So yes, school teachers still have a classroom and everything, but what about all the supportive stuff around that helped us parents make sure that we could pay our bills? There's a lot of people that aren't going to be able to pay their bills. There's a lot of people that do not have savings. They don't, and for those that do have savings, they're breaking into their retirement right now. They're breaking into their savings accounts right now, and over the next few months, that's exactly what's going to happen. We're going to see a decline in the relationship with our money. A lot of people are going to get scared of losing that. And therefore, there's going to be restriction around their finances because they're not going to be in abundance mode because they don't have the work, they don't have the support that they need. But guess what, guys? You can change that. You can change that. You have the power to have a better relationship with cash flow, with money. You can actually have abundance coming in through the process of this, but you've got to be willing to do the work. You've got to get right. You got to get into the flow instead of causing. And remember, anything that we cause constriction around, we cause separation with. So if you're feeling constriction, which shows up as anxiety, worry, fear, frustration, irritation, okay, those things, anytime we feel constriction around something, we cause separation to it. We push it away. And this is one big area that we do this with because we get so fearful around our cash flow. We get fearful around our finances, especially in times like this. Now, I'm not telling you to go and spend the bank, but what I am telling you to do is to do some internal work, to set your thoughts and emotions clear, and to get right with your money, to not fear it running away, okay? There are many steps that you can do to do this, which we will be covering some of those on Saturday. And the other thing that we're going to be talking about is, what's on the table? Our health. Our health is on the table. Well, we have a relationship with our health. And it's not just thinking, I am healthy, I am healthy, I am healthy. All right, yeah, great. You can sit there and you can tell yourself, I am healthy all damn day long. You're still not going to be overly healthy if you're not taking certain precautions and measures to your health. Well, lucky you, if you follow me, I happen to have a whole bunch of nutritional certification background. I used to do this stuff for a living, was nutritional coaching, helping people have a dynamic health, okay? Abundance in their well-being. And that's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. So join me. Link is in the comment section for this global class that I'm going to be teaching. I'm far more. It says like 10 safeguards. Oh my God, it's going to be so many more than that. Make sure that you jump on. Join me for that. Take care of, build strength in your relationships, in your wealth, and in your health over the next few months by taking these safeguards into practice and really, truly walking into the summer. When we find our freedom again, when we open up our doors and we open up our lives again to community, to connection, to moving around the country the way we want to, around the world the way we want to, when travel is back in place. Can you imagine when travel without fear to this level is back in place? Can you imagine getting into the car and driving across the country to go tour through the redwood trees, or to go hiking in Colorado, or to go get on a plane and go to the beach or to the Caribbean or something and have some rum punch, or over to Europe or someplace like that? Wherever that dream is that you're wanting to go, that you had planned or that you were looking at, that you're now going, oh my God, that's not going to happen. I'm scared. Let's get you the safeguards in place so that that fear subsides, so that you can see the beauty that your life still has to offer you and how phenomenal 2020 is actually going to be if you just learn how to let go of the resistance. I love you guys. I will catch you tomorrow with another Conscious Coffee with more hope and love, sending you many, many well wishes and many blessings today, as always. I love you guys. Catch you tomorrow. And remember, stop existing, start living. You are worthy of a phenomenal life. Catch you tomorrow.